heights, don't go there. Welcome back to the 1995 draft from Toronto and Skydome. Up next, the first of the NBA's expansion teams, the Vancouver Grizzlies. Stu Jackson, the GM. Brian Winters, the former Atlanta Hawks assistant coach, is the new head coach of the Grizzlies. When you're starting out from scratch, Hubie, what do you do?
Well, the one thing is you try to get center help as well as big forward. They have an opportunity here, if they like, big country at 7 foot, 290 pounds. A player that has a nice game with his back to the basket, can score, make foul shots, and is very powerful inside. Now, we know that he has slowness of foot, but, you know, how do you feel about it, Rick?
I agree with you. I remember watching Rick Smith's senior year in college, and I said to my friend, that's one person who will never play in the NBA. And when you look at big people, they take time to develop, and this is a good move for the Vancouver Grizzlies.
Let's see who they take with their first pick ever. Here's the commissioner.
With the 6th pick in the 1995 NBA draft, the Vancouver Grizzlies select Bryant Reeves from Oklahoma State University.
They call him Big Country. That's a name that Byron Houston, his former Oklahoma State teammate, gave him when he visited New York for the first time. He'd never been on an airplane before. And he likes the name. And there's one of his brothers who is slightly smaller country. I mean, you talk about the distinguishing looks of the Bryant Reeves family. The flat top, haircut, the barrel chest. They got some weight, and he's got a brother who's 12, 13, another one who's 15, 16. Says, yeah, I got game too. So we may be seeing another one of the Reeves here in a few years. But there is Bryant out of Oklahoma State University. Had never lifted a weight before he showed up at Oklahoma State. And Eddie Sutton took him under his wing and turned him into a player. I think Eddie Sutton was as surprised as everybody the way this kid developed. And Bryant Reeves is the number 6 pick in the draft, going to the Vancouver Grizzlies. And somehow that seems apt. This guy looks like he could be the poster guy for that franchise. Big Bryant Reeves, a 7 foot, 290 pounder. He's one of 5 players in Big 8 history with 2,000 points and 1,000 rebounds, joining D. Manning, Wayman Tisdale, Byron Houston, who gave him his moniker, and Doug Smith. How about Bryant Reeves, guys?
I like it. I'm happy for him because when you think about how far he has come during his 4 years of college and how much work he has put into it. Great hands and a very soft shooting touch.
And it's a great place for him to develop. Stillwater, Oklahoma. Really well schooled by Eddie Sutton. He goes to New York. If New York had a first-round draft pick, picture him riding the subways of New York. Everybody immediately gets off.
Out of Gans, Oklahoma, population 400 when everybody's home. Let's go to Craig Say.
They do grow them big in Gans, Oklahoma. You're the biggest now, but I saw your brothers go through that food line a little bit earlier, and Ernie Johnson's coming. They may be bigger than you someday.
Yeah, you know, right now I'm the biggest, but they're probably going to catch me somewhere down the line. They're both pretty good size for their age.
Big challenge out west. You have David Robinson, you have Hakeem Olajuwon, Dikembe Mutombo at the center position. Then forward you have to battle Sean Kemp, you have to battle Karl Malone, Charles Barkley. How do you step up your game for this new challenge?
Well, you know, I think I'll be able to step up my game to play these guys. You know, I've watched these guys on TV all the time, and you know, to be able to go against them is going to be a dream. You know, the first time I don't necessarily want to look at the box score afterwards, but you know, I'll be ready to play against them every night.
Hubie Brown said this guy has offensive skills. He's worked hard at his game. There's no bigger compliment than when it comes from Hubie. What would you tell other players in your position maybe a few years ago who want to sit there, big centers, how to improve their game?
Well, you know, I think that you have to work at it every minute of the way. You know, you have to listen to people that have been there, know what's going on. You know, that's the way I try to approach it. I listen to the veterans, listen to the coaching staff, and just give it 150%, and everything will happen good for you.
Well, I went on a recruiting trip with Stu Jackson. We saw so many players throughout the country. I'm glad he got you. Tell him congratulations.
Thank you very much.
The Bryant Reeves family modeling the Vancouver Grizzlies the Vancouver Grizzlies hat. The expansion team and the other expansion team, the Toronto Raptors, has the next pick. The clock is running on them. Reggie Theus is standing by in Vancouver. Let's go to Reggie on this first pick for the Grizzlies.
All right, thanks a lot. Stu, you said you wanted a big man, and you got one with a lot of beef.
Yeah, we got one of the biggest. Obviously, we're extremely excited to get Big Country in our fold, and, you know, he's a guy that we feel will really endure the NBA season. He's got an excellent offensive game, great size, which is at a premium in this league, and he plays bigger in the bigger games.
Well, you know, you got a team full of small forwards and guards. Now, Bryant is a low-post center. How are you going to take advantage of his skills?
Well, you know, obviously we position ourselves in the expansion draft to allow him to come in and obviously play a great deal. We'll rely on him and let him develop at the same time, and hopefully, you know, we'll get to a point where our whole team feeds off of our center play.
You think he's going to be a factor right away, or is it going to take him a couple of years?
Well, with big people, it takes time, and you have to be willing to wait on them and allow them to develop. And as an expansion franchise, I can't think of a better place for BC, big country, Bryant Reeves to be.
All right, Stu. Let's go back to Toronto, all right?
Tonight, Dick Versace holed up in the war room. Let's go to the bunker and find out what the Mavs are thinking, Dick.
All right, Ernie. Well, it looks like Stu Jackson of the Vancouver Grizzlies is very happy with big country Bryant Reeves, but we kept hearing that Dallas liked him too, and they were willing to give up the 12th, 24th, and a future first-round pick for big country Reeves. It'll be interesting to see if Dallas goes for a big man, maybe Cherokee Parks.